what China is looking for from India. We know what India is looking from China. Why don't you give us a sense on what China is looking on what kind of relation they want to establish with India?
Thank you. Good morning, Nabila, and all my fellow friends. We've seen, by Modi showing up in Tianjin is much more of a calibrated hedge. It's not a pivot to me. It's much more of a response to Trump and Washington to send a message to Washington and the others that, India has strategic autonomy and is very much aligned to its non-alignment policy, has very much flexibility in terms of how, India would like to conduct its foreign policy, also as a response to the tariff measure. So he's testing a tactical play with Beijing, was signaling to Washington that India won't be boxed in by this tariff coercion. So it's a control reset, but on India's terms. And of course, being the first visit in 7 years, a lot of expectations, but I don't see big deliverables. We have seen how the trust deficit is widening for the past couple of years now, and largely it will be much more confined to areas of low politics, I would say. And I would think that, of course, Prime Minister Modi is very strategic. He has a lot of foresight in terms of how to compartmentalize things and to differentiate things on how India will get, these returns from China in terms of trade, in terms of, market opening, in terms of, technologies and all that, as compared to, forging closer ties in terms of areas of high politics, including defense and security. So the wariness, the concerns, and being cautious are all part of the game. And of course, also we don't see how India will send a very wrong message also to Washington and to Trump. And US is still the most important partner to India in all areas of important aspects of Indian security, especially in terms of not only in terms of economic and technological and supply chain aspects, but also especially in terms of defense and security. So by stopping over in Japan, we can see that it's a very strong message also to reassure allies, to reassure Quad partners that this presence in Tianjin, this presence in the SCO summit is not a deliberate pivot to China. And of course, China uses this as a very strategic leverage to send a very strong message also to Washington that this is a period where China is expanding its defense and economic friend-shoring efforts. And now that China has been getting more friends, apart from its measures in Southeast Asia, in different parts of the world, but the most important partner now to be able to get alongside with China now, of course, to court India in this aspect. So it's a very much strategic move by China. And of course, also to capitalize on this, to seize upon this new opening by what Trump has been doing now, and to use the tariff measure as a very important aspect to amplify its defense and economic friend-shoring efforts.
It's a sheer business relation. It's not going to be beyond that. India-China is only looking at expanding business. And in terms of friendship, I highly doubt it's going to go beyond that, considering that China is great with Pakistan, has supplied nearly 63% of Pakistan's arms. We've just entered into a near-war situation with Pakistan, but Chinese has stood strong. China stood strong with Pakistan, irrespective.